Hello, Dark Denizens. This is Crimson, and you're watching some Dark Souls 2, The Crown of the Sunken King DLC. Now, we're going to be getting to the things we missed in our first playthrough where we went and killed the last boss, so let's have all these little extra things that we didn't quite get, that weren't quite a main part of the full completion of it. So we're going to start with this one that's not anywhere near that area, and that is a little visit to King Vendrick. That was added in with the DLC. I believe you need to have completed the DLC and have the dragon memory to visit this. So here he is. Hello. There's how he looks. Do we have binoculars? I think we have some binoculars. Let's get them on. We don't need our fancy twirly sword. That's fancy and stuff. Binoculars? I don't know. There you are. Alright. Let's get a nice view of him in his glory-ish. You know, them high quality textures. Nice crown. Am I wearing your crown? Maybe? Well, if I'm not, I can put it on. Pretty sure I have it. There it is. Deal with it. Stole your crown, jerk. Haha, haha. Anyway, stand on your sword too. Oh, I should bust out his sword. I don't think I have his shield too. Do I? Oh, well, I have his armor. Anyway, let's have a chat with him.
Seeker of fire, coveter of the throne. I am Vendrick, ruler of Drang Lake.
Hi. I killed you in the future.
Seeker of fire, deliverer of crowns. What do you see in the flames? Find the crowns and your own answers. The crowns hold the strength of lords from times long past. Seek adversity, as befits you, seeker of fire, coveter of the throne.
Crowns plural. Maybe he'll have more to say when the other DLCs come out.
Seeker of fire, conqueror of dark. I too sought fire once. With fire, they say, a true king can harness the curse. A lie, but I knew no better. Seeker of fire, you know not the depth of dark within you. It grows deeper still, the more flame you covet. Flame, oh, flame.
Fire and darkness. Everyone wants the fire and the darkness.
I am king of this wretched, unraveled kingdom. I subdued the giants and claimed their strength, so that I might step closer to fire. Drang Lake will fall, the fire will fade, and the souls of old will re-emerge. With dark unshackled, a curse will be upon us, and men will take their true shape.
Your wife is a mean lady.
Drang Lake will fall, the fire will fade, and the souls of old will re-emerge. With dark unshackled, a curse will be upon us.
Alright, so he's repeating his dialogue, so that's it for him. You know, let's take his hat off, put on my hat. I'm tired of him putting up with his stuff. Let's equip his sword and stab him with it. That sounds reasonable, right? I have it somewhere. There it is. Ruler's sword. See, you know, when he uses it, it's all big and stuff. Pfft. Well, I mean, it's not like I have the stats to use this, but yeah.
Foolish.
Get stabbed. So that's him. A little bit of dialogue. I'll see if that gets on later. So, let's get back to the action, shall we? So we missed 3 bonfires last time. I guess I'll show them to you since I'm here. These 2 in the Lair of the Imperfect, and this one in Shulva's Sanctum City. So we're gonna go find those and get the 3rd boss of this DLC we're missing, in addition to a little strange area that had something that didn't seem to have any impact on anything whatsoever, like a lot of things in this DLC. But there are some strange weapons to find that are neat in some ways, and finally figure out the clues to some areas. We're actually going backwards to get to this one because it's simpler to me. At least to me. Maybe someone else will find this way easier too. But the king, he had weird things to say. I mean, he says he subdued the giants and took their power, but you know, when I was in those memories, it didn't look like he subdued the giants at all. Think he's a big lion jerk? You know, trying to make himself sound better than he is? Think the giants beat him up? What do you think, guy? You think the king beat the giants? You care? Yeah, it sucks to have a body, doesn't it? Doesn't it? Alright, so here! I don't know if we figured this out last time. It's been a little bit. Anyway, so we fire an arrow into there, and that opens that door right up there that we weren't able to figure out what was what to, with, for, and, of, but we can take these guys out, no problem. There's some hexers around, and a very crucial item in that spot right there that I think is silly. Game. Alright, so now that door is open. Let's kill this hex lady first. I do not wish to be hexed, miss. Thank you. So, with that door open, we just still have to make a jump. And we did. And here we are. The missing bonfire here. And we can grab this item, which is kind of neat. The Sanctum crossbow. Which I kind of like. You know, normally the crossbows, I'm not very keen on them. I mean, especially since, you know, Evelyn here is so much better than the others. Because it's repeating, mostly, but has the high attack. Anyway, crossbow wielded by Sanctum Bolt. Strong attack, fires dark bolts. Sanctum Knights fires bolts. You know what I mean. Fires dark knights. Pew pew, pew pew. These guardian knights were sentenced to eternal stewardship of the sanctum in a clandestine ritual carried out in the great depths. But today the sanctum receives nary a visitor. So that's this thing. It's an interesting weapon. If I can decide I want to actually use it. You're not going to tell me more about this, are you? Forgot how to get up to all the dialogue. It's been too long. Oh well. That's what that has to say for itself. So, it fires bolts normally, which I'm silly. But it fires bolts normally. You know, just bang. And the R2, you know, strong attack, is because it's a crossbow, it's trying to fire from the empty slot I have. But if you two-hand it, it's a left trigger special attack, which, as you can see, tears through the durability. But, you know, you can fire dark bolts, which is pretty neat if you have a dark build and want to use darkness, which is kind of a theme, I guess, in this DLC. There's a lot of dark and poison, though dark isn't very strong. So, 169 base physical, projectile strike damage, so strike, that's nice. 13 strength, 14 dex, 10 int, and 10 faith, which is a theme of hexes, int, and faith. This one's hardly worth showing off, but this is the missing bonfire. That's in the inner sanctum here. There's a hidden wall on the staircase descending down to the final two bosses. I think it's 3 floors down-ish. The most notable part about it is this staircase here. If you go along the wall on the right-ish side, I don't know how to orient it, but here, there's a bonfire. It's before you drop down to there. You know, it's not that far from the boss, and there's nothing really to it, but along this wall up here, go along Ash A, open the secret door, and you'll get the Sanctum Interior Bonfire right here. So that's all the bonfires of the DLC area. Okay, so before we get to our other bonfires, we're going to show off a little area. So we've teleported here to the Tower of Prayer in the Sanctum City. And in this area, you remember that it was kind of a silly way of getting around these, but there's another interesting thing to discover that doesn't seem to have much significance or impact, but it is awfully weird. And how I actually managed to discover it was pretty weird, or one of these guys fell off the edge, so I decided to join him. And from here, there's an item down there, and you know, you can't really see where to get this thing up. If you look up there, well, these creepy red-eyed things are, you can get a little shot off there. Again, the significance of having a ranged weapon here is pretty big. So you can make a little run across there, or you could wait for it to go all the way up. Got a couple of poison lizards here. If you want to deal with them, it's up to you. And then there's this tree. He's got a notched whip for you. It's a little odd. The promised walk of peace. We'll go over in a minute, make sure no one's on their way to kill us. So, there he is. Now we can swing at him. There's a tree. My lightning does not seem to amuse him. And he's just kind of eyeballing me. So let's go for fire! Didn't like that. It's a little weird. Fire burns a tree. Kill him, you get a dried root. So I have no idea what impact that had, but let's go over the loot he had. So he had the promised walk of peace and just a notched whip +7, and if you use whips, I feel sorry for you, but hey, you know, get a free +7 one. I mean, the damage is okay, I guess. I mean, there's a whip sword. Less damage. A lot less damage. And so the promised walk of peace. Where are you, promised walk of peace? Right here at the end. 2 uses, 2 slots, 30 int, 40 faith. A hex crafted from an ancient miracle of unknown origin slows the walking pace of its caster and those in the vicinity, to stand and glare at one another, steaming with ire and wrath, but without making a move. Such is the nature of peace. Catalyst Sacred Chime. So this is a faithy hex that makes people walk instead of run. Don't know if that existed before this DLC, but there it is. That's this area. There's another item on the thing we raised to get here, so let's grab that. There are a couple of ways to get this thing raised. That's the one I chose. And just torches, 5 of them in fact. So let's head back to the bonfire and move on to the next area, which is that door. If you remember the key we got earlier. We also found the door before we found the key. Let's have a little heal. And get going. We have the ring of the cat equipped, as you can see on my buffs, so we can drop on down. Whee! And then it'll drop. So you can see that area is the one we're going to be heading to. And you can't get there from down here, even though there's a elevator. That's we need to go up there to get down. This is kind of weird, but that's how it works out. How far did you guys chase again? You good there? Alright. Let's deal with these guys. Got a lance guy, or is it 2 lance guys, or a lance guy and a sword guy? 2 lance guys. So we can flame swat these guys, you know, just to not take any risks. Or apparently they'll block now. Fine, fireballs! You know? I know you're slow, but having shields on a straight path, I don't like it. Just trying to take my time here. You know, fine, potion up. If I care, I'll just burn you. I'm pretty sad that there wasn't much love for pyromancy in this DLC, but we still got 2 more to go. And other things to look forward to. But anyway. Those guys, you know, they're on a bridge. Lots of ways to deal with them. So from that bonfire, you get past those 2 guys. You could kill the other ones along the way if you so desire. Up to you. You could possibly ditch those guys, but you know, Dark Souls 2, don't like letting you run past people. So right here at the Dragon Sanctum, you have your door. And if you got the key, that was quite a bit further on in a little hidden passage there. You can say hello to Miss Hex, or a friend in the distance who'd like to hit you, because Dark Souls 2 is designed like that. But they're not so tough. Whoa! Jeez, lady. What's killing you there? Anyway, so you get 5 free chests. Well, free chest. Free-ish. Yeah, I kind of want to show off the armor you get from this area, but oh well. There's no boss armor to buy, which makes me a little sad. Thought it'd be neat. Maybe buy the old King's armor from beating the final boss. But, as you can see, the loot here, not the most spectacular. I mean, if you really like the dried roots, you have plenty of dried roots. So you don't have to murder trees for these ones. Alright, the lightning clutch ring. I'll look that one up in a second. And more dried roots. So, where are the dried roots? Right here. So this is our heals HP for a long time. And the lightning clutch ring. Increases lightning attack. Ring depicting a hand grasping at a stone. Increases lightning attack, but reduces physical defense. The origin of this ring is unknown. but its design suggests one of the darker deities. Effective use of this ring requires skill on the part of its wielder. So, an interesting weapon. I mean, they've given us a lot of strange items. If you want to be a lightning user, I guess. I don't know if that scales with faith, actually, which all the other lightning does. Should be intriguing. I mean, the Dark Souls combat system is kind of against, you know, trying to stack all of the elements, because how each one resolves against the armor values of the enemies or something weird like that. It's not spelled out very clear, and I really wish it would, because, you know, using a rainbow or sunburst or whatever you want to call it, a full elemental weapon with all the things, sounds like it'd be a lot of fun. And, you know, you wouldn't have to worry about enemy types and switching your weapons all the time. So here's this area. You can hear that lovely sound of that guy right there. You know, just having a great time. I'll be back for you guys. Oh, you can see that little fog wall over there. And here's another one of the bonfires. So here's an NPC invasion, because we're playing in offline mode. He's not that threatening. I mean, you see the damage he does. I mean, I don't think I'm even that well armored, but it is just new game, and I'm still level 150. But he does have a lot more health than I do, which, you know, standard Dark Souls 2 affair. But there's a bonfire right here, so just take your time, drink up. You know, don't even bother with items, or trying to do anything fancy with them. But look at that guy, in such heavy armor. Jeez, look at those rolls. That's sick rolls, man. Alright, so we can smack this down. Enjoy the fog wall disappearing. We'll get the elevator. Is unlocked now. It's on its way up, which we'll be riding in a second. Let's have a little rest so we get our bonfire going before you head off into some of these other areas. Alright, so now we have our bonfire. We can examine this little spot a bit more, which we can just feather back to there. So these bugs, they attack you, like all their friends like to. Not that deadly. They will be corrosive against your gear, so be careful. But they die in one hit. I mean, you have to not be using a very good weapon for them to live. So up here we have a chest. Still automatic. I don't think I've seen one in the entirety of this DLC. They do have something for you. The Sanctum Shield. Where were you, Sanctum Shield? I forgot what you look like. I did go around and check most of this gear beforehand, just so I'd be able to get here. Here it is. A shield with a curious design, one of the treasures of the Sunken King. A mixture of mythical tree branch and sacred chime iron allows this shield to serve as a catalyst for miracles and sorceries. Most of the miracles and sorceries were created in the Sanctum City were lost, but the quality of their armor and shield suggests highly advanced craftsmanship. So, this is a shield that casts miracles and sorceries, although it doesn't say anything about hexes, but is really neat for a shield. This is the kind of thing I really like to see, is like weapons with versatility, even though this is a shield, but for the versatility in items. Like, I'd like a pyromancy flame that also does hexes. You know, that'd be great. Am I gonna get that? Nah. So, 6 strength, 7 dex, 18 and 18 faith, with the C scalings you can see there. Has 120 magic, 80 lightning, and 120 dark, which is interesting. Doesn't have full physical or even full fire there, but it has okay elemental resistance all around. And it's kind of tiny. Doesn't seem like it's not effective of a guard. And as you can tell, because it has the spellcasting thing, it doesn't have a parry. Okay. So we get a nice view from up here too. I mean, if you want to light things. I mean, I got flame butterflies on here as well. Set light. It's kind of sad that, you know, setting all the lights in Dark Souls 2 doesn't have any real impact. Nothing on this side, just, you know, convenient rubble. get a nice view of that bonfire down there by the chicken, maybe chicken dragon things. And here you can kind of get an overview of the bonfire that we just kind of ran to. But otherwise, nothing else up here. Just can use your torch to light these for some reason. Whatever. Yeah, more stuff. Why to complain about it? It's a neat shield. Might incorporate it into a future build depending on what the balance patches will do. You can't tell, but the air quotes are on balance patches. This is the way I want to go. I'm too busy thinking about future builds where you could use sorceries and miracles together, but all the sorceries are pretty terrible. Honestly, except for, you know, Crystal Soul Spear, which you get, you know, 2 of. That's a wonderful time. Attunement's an interesting stat to get, though. So, on the way down this one, you remember seeing some of that loot on the way to this tower was hanging out, so you have to walk off there to nab it. And you can choose your own way of going down. Obviously, you know, not too much that's eventful there. But, there's a path here that you could choose to walk off the elevator the other way to get to. Yeah, this chest. Just suspicious, but it's okay. What have you got for me, chest? Dark Greatsword. Another spell. So, there's Soul Greatsword here, which just attacks. You know, it's pretty dull there. But, where are you, Soul Greatsword? Dark Greatsword, there it is. Hex adapted from an ancient sorcery, brandished dark like a sword. By its nature, dark is normally tranquil, but this hex unleashes a focused blade of dark and an uncharacteristic flash of brilliance. So this requires 55 int and 29 faith. Very expensive. 3 uses, 2 slots. So, if you're a caster, Dark Souls 2 hates you. Just so you know. So we're just gonna feather right on out of here. I mean, we could drop down and have all kinds of ways, but the bonfire's right here, and this is where we're going next. But yeah, I mean, 55 int and 29 faith. 2 slots, 3 uses. And if you think the damage is high enough to justify that with the best stats you can have, it's not. It's really not. It's sad. Especially since, like, half the game is all about dark resistance. So here's the Cave of the Dead. Obviously can't go back after this little drop. But, the Rapacious Audrey, and Ruined Aphlis are here. NPC summons, if you are alive. So we'll get these guys in here. Have a look at this guy who's quite interesting. Looks like he's in a ghillie suit with a funny mask. Does the light spell, so we don't have to torch, and this guy's in the traveling merchant clothes. He's starting Gear of the Explorer. And we can, I don't know, I guess if you want a torch, you can bring one. Back to these, you know, you can't go back here places. Which I'm more okay with than just an easily surmountable gap that the game mechanics just doesn't allow you to climb. And here's this side again! Who's excited? Not me. But hey, at least I have friends. Ow. Friends that like to block my way. Let's see what these guys do. So we have a rapier user and a sorcery / miracle user, looks like. Neither of which do respectable damage, it seems. 40 on those sorceries. And hey, the lightning. That's a what, a Shotel with a lightning enhancement? Probably not sunlight. Neat. Wait, are you poisoned? Oh, well, guess I'm not going back to that fire. But these red ones, also those holes there, do not spit poison. They spit petrification. It's quite severe, so watch out for that. If you want to run in front of some of these. Just bad memories of the well area. I don't remember what it's called. Light Town 2.0. So, now one fire to light there, and we have to pick one of these holes we want to jump in. Whichever one looks the most appealing out of them. You just see get fired at right there, right away. The darkness, I don't know. I don't know if you guys can see fine, but I can. That was one of the main things in Dark Souls 2. I don't know how many times I've said this, but the people who created it were like, we really wanted lighting effects, but consoles couldn't handle it, so the game's, you know, the light tortured thing is just not much of a thing. So not only are there statues, but there's lizard pillows. Oh, that's a poison guy. Wait, were you poisoned? What am I taking down? Oh, it's probably petrifying statues. Looks like Audrey is going to get himself killed. Makes me a little sad. Oh, there's a crystal soul spear. Maybe not the most worthless. You can do it, Audrey. Do you heal? Oh, they do heal. Okay, so, as you remember with the lizards, what you have to do for them is you have to attack the lizard underneath, which we found out that was a pretty good strategy to do it with these firestorms. You could also just get the bow out and do it like that. Yeah, it is kind of important to get them out of the way. Although the Temple Sanctum Knights obviously can do the most damage here. Oh, come on, really? Did I get you? Okay. So this is a very interesting area to clear out. Glad we got friends in this one, I guess. Alright, so let's get this archer down. Looks like he took a hit before we got to him. Let's try to get most of these out of the way. We have repair powder for our weapon break, so we'll be fine. But what is this ridiculous hole they're just hanging out in? Why don't the lizards eat the Sanctum Knights? You know, it's not like lizards have friends. It'd be silly. Oh, we still got a lizard. So as we showed with the fire, we can do that. Another way to do it is with this lovely bow. Just aim down at the lizard. Oh, I got a nice crit there from my gloves. Perfect timing. Well, I guess an enemy that poses no threat whatsoever. I'm not sure if I have high petrification resist on my gear at all, or if I'm just getting... these things do very little damage. We can also find a bright bug here. Have we gotten one of those yet? I don't think so. Very suspicious walls everywhere, though. He's casting light again. Bright bug, bright bug. Where are you, bright bug? There it is. Inflict more damage, receive less. Tiny bug that produces light. Bright bugs are said to comfort the dead and are found in the marshlands leading to the undead crypt. By ingesting a bright bug just before death, the moment at which they glow most brightly, one attains great power for a short time, often utilized as a last resort for adventurers who have lost their way. Has no effect in other worlds or for phantoms. So, yeah, it's like finding an item that's just... We thought this would be overpowered for PvP, so we prevented you from using it in PvP. Because, you know, in Dark Souls 2, they're PvP and PvE, or PvP and not PvP, have a lot of crossover in that if something's good in PvP, and they deem it too good, they'll just be like, well, we don't care about people who don't PvP. We're just going to make the item a lot less good. And you're like, what? My entire build? All those items I spent grinding? My entire reason for playing this game? It's gone now? Okay. Thank you, FromSoft. Balance is a thing. But hey, that's just my one. I'm not a PvPer, and PvP crossed over a lot there. That's 3 petrified somethings which you can trade at the crows near the start of the game. Is that statue thing wiggling at me? I don't think it is. Well, you can trade them at the crows at the start in the tutorial area. Try to get yourself maybe the ring that makes you glow funny or whatever you want. There's not a lot of good items to choose from there. I think one of them is a weapon in that pool of the petrified somethings. I don't quite remember. Bonfire aesthetic. If you like to farm things without getting the game difficulty, New Game Plus, up, which I do, because there's items you can only get on New Game Plus or by exploiting the aesthetics. Like there's a ring that makes it so when people backstab you, you don't die, but breaks depending on the damage, which makes the ancient dragon fight a lot less of a pain. As we call it, the fight that's just one-shots you because Dark Souls. Yeah, not a happy fight. So, another point in this hole over here. I guess we could light some of these if we so desire. Might as well be thorough. So we're coming to the end here. Any more? Did I miss? Because because these statues are also the torches. It's kind of hard to tell. But I lit something. And now you making use of these flame butterflies. Really? The floor hit me? I don't like that. At least this buff to be overpowered twin blade is ridiculously strong. Hey! Strong in that it has good attack area. So another point of no return here. That's Kevin. Gonna be okay, you have health. More lizards, and you can see a big group of guys there. Big group of guys. Without the lizards here, not too bad. I mean, they spit petrification. Like, really? There isn't even like a petrification moss. I don't think you can make use of the bow. I think we discovered that this one was good. Alright, this here, and it doesn't do anything. See? Useful. Of course, it's a trap! Should probably get these guys selling. Alright, I got him. I do more damage than both of you combined, so however suspicious this hole is, nothing there. Except for getting stuck behind your allies, probably. Let's not let his lightning powder go to waste, I guess. These familiar faces from the Gulch area, Black Gulch. Except this time they don't have a massive ledge to try to push you off. They have a very weird attack arc, I gotta say. Someone want to kill him? 'Cause I'm kind of waiting for this guy here. Alright. Backstab? Fine. We'll be fine. Alright, so get our bow out and deal with these lizards. This is a hunter's black bow with fire for some reason. Because I wanted to have all the elements just in case elemental weaknesses. And the hunter's black bow just has the best range. I mean, you can attack people. You have longer range than the spawn-in distance with this bow, which makes it probably the best. I mean, it has really great scaling too. Although, you know, with the fire on it, its scaling could be better. But I like having elements on my weapons, even though it in so many cases can reduce your damage. A little bit more petrification to get down. No problem. And finally an item hiding in one of these little alcoves with this statue here. Nope. So yeah, be careful when going for this one. Not only because of the petrification statue, but running past your allies. That can lock you in. As you can see, nothing here. We have a boss fight ahead of us, which is going to be a lot more fun with these guys around. So let's try to get this to trigger off. Here we go. Alluring skull. So it was a trap with the bait of the alluring skull, which is the item that lures enemies that we've all seen before and probably got petrified to death outside of the castle from. Okay, round 2 here of the third boss of this area. We may or may not have spent the first attempt trying to ask the bosses to do their mechanics, and they weren't being very nice about it. Anyway, we're heading back in. So this boss is 3 guys, one in Havel's armor, one with a great bow, and one with a katana and normal knight stuff. The one with the great bow is in the Mira armor. There's water down here in this area, which is where we took them to be nice to us. There's a lizard down here with some statues, more water, and get cornered by this guy. But hey, wanna fight one-on-one? No, you don't. Of course you don't. That was the great bow to the face, by the way. Happens a lot. Here's the Mira armored guy, or Mira hat guy with a rapier. But round 2 is not going so well. But hey, at least I don't have to deal with Havel guy yet. Maybe my allies can figure something out there. Ow. So it's a wide area, which is a lot different 3v3 than 1v3. I'll tell you now. I'm glad these NPC allies could make it all the way-ish. You there with the great bow. Ooh, this takes a lot more damage than the other 2. Stop firing at my allies who are keeping Havel busy because Havel has way too much health and resistances. Oh, don't die, Alphys. Just Havel. Yeah, there you go. You guys can do damage after all. Alright, so these guys you can backstab. if you get lucky and the game decides to let you backstab, which, unless you're a laggy PvPer, you probably don't even know what a backstab is. But hey, great bows are scary. This guy takes damage. Havel, are you going to kill both of them by yourself? Call him Havel because he's in Havel's armor. There's a backstab on a boss. I think Havel's going to get the victory there. Oh well. But yeah, these guys, if you can't tell, have ridiculous health. Look at this. Well, there goes my phantoms. At least they did half of Havel's health there. And again, you can exploit the terrain to your advantage. Ow. That's a great bow. There are 3 in the game, not sure which one that is. But only one of them's... Because the other 2 you gotta plant down, or they're slow and don't do the most. The Aldona Knight Great Bow, that's the one I'd choose. Now this was, the strategy I like to employ is to run them in circles and pick them off one by one. As you can see, the one with the bow likes to keep the distance and likes to hit you instead of switching. But using the corners, you can always give yourself some time to heal. And if you're not using a melee weapon, you can use these corners to cast. And be annoyed by this guy and get destroyed by Havel. There we go. Alright, there's Sarah down. Sarah? Ow. That's the hit from Havel. So another thing you can do with these edges is get them separated. Like you saw there, he was in the water while the ancient soldier Varg was down there. Ancient Varg is the Havel Knight guy. The Afflicted Grave Robber is the katana user. In the knight armor? Old knight armor with the Vargas? I don't know. What armor are you wearing? I'm trying to get a good view. I already killed Sarah without getting a good view. But yeah, they'll block at you with their weapons in 2 hands. Just kind of walk at you. Just take all the time in the world. Just intimidating boss fight here. Well, this is round 2. What am I saying? Huh? You just go around. Typical Dark Souls fight, right? So they do respond to your actions before you complete them. As you can see, that was a Chaos Storm, which is one of the, most damaging pyromancies in the game. That did 9 and 22 damage. You guys not blocking now? Is my casting too much for you? Let's see, a full Flame Swath, run at 103 on the Grave Robber there. It's like how they've stopped the two-handing. They're afraid. As is reasonably so. So that's how much my physical damage does compared to my elemental. Oh, this is a lightning weapon, so maybe it's just that they're fire resistant. I don't know. Looks like we got Varg away from the Grave Robber. This is AI. But they'll get back together eventually. I mean, it's not that hard for them to figure out. But yeah, 18 and 2. Fire against these guys, not the best. So we'll get to hitting him. The trick is getting around Havel, because he has the major stagger and can drop you to the ground and just kill you before you finish standing back up. Now, despite the heavy armor on the Grave Robber, he will get staggered. So, the melee strategy isn't too bad. With my armor and health, I can tank him for a bit. Just gotta be aware that they do poise damage. So I should be able to move around, keep my health high. And using life gems or something you can heal with quickly and move. You shouldn't have to worry about too much. Except for the Havel slams. And really, Dragon Tooth? Like the Dragon Tooth? Come on, what kind of stats does this guy have? Matchmaking, please. But despite his heavy armor, he does take a good amount of damage from physical. Or at least from this weapon. Nice glancing blow on both of them there. Alright, there we go. Yeah, Havel, drink up. That's what I was trying to get them to do the first time around. And they do it when I don't even want them to. Yes, they drink. They heal. Which is very interesting for a boss fight. But once you get it to a one-on-one fight, I mean, it's just like fighting the Black Phantoms in the Dark Lurker area. Which is the Covenant I am, and that didn't have anything in the DLC, which I was sad by. Of course, fighting Havel in a poise fight, probably not the best idea. I want to backstab you. You have a back? Show it to me. No, I'll go give you a little run, Havel. How's about that? Did I show this ramp? Oh, I did now. We're taking our time on this fight. There might be a couple more mechanics to them that I didn't get to show off, but hey. Our NPC Phantoms did well here. Now, we were fighting Havel in the first Dark Souls at the bottom of that starting area. That was awful, wasn't it? You know, because you're always fighting him at soul level 10 or something, and he's just so strong. Or at least he takes so long to die. One thing I did want to mention was about the petrification here, and how effective that isn't against them, but only against you. My sword's about to break. Let's get that taken care of. That's another one of the things in this fight you gotta pay attention to, because 3 of them being heavily armored. But backstabbing a boss, you know, that'll get you through it. Swing at me. Not like that. Okay, spin at me. Jeez. A pivot. Alright, come on. I got you. Or not. That's what I don't like. Is the block into immediately hitting you. Woo! But we'll get your health all the way down eventually. Of course, trying to block the Dragon Tooth is just silly. And you're better off just getting the AI like that. I think we got him here. Or not. And we're flat on the floor again. Whoops. No! Why? Why? There we go. Alright, there's them dead. Put a bit more effort into that than I needed to. Twinkling Titanite, Petrified Dragonbone, and a Titanite Slab. Of course, 3 of the first 2. So, not a very eventful fight, I'll say, but now that's the 3rd boss fight in this area. Got some more petrification here. Just have a brisk roll past it. Get to some foggy area here. And this piece of loot, which is Blackweed Balm times 3. If you have an idea of what this area is, you can kind of tell. Elevator's up over there, that's the bonfire. Blackweed Balm, have we gone over what Blackweed Balm is? I don't know. Blackweed Balm. Blackweed Balm. There it is. Temporarily increases intelligence. Extremely rare plant intelligence. It's a fleeting sense of empowerment. Chest, because they don't give you any souls or anything special. You gotta get some special loot out of it. And get a flower skirt. Which is an intriguing item for these guys to be after. The 3 of them. Flower skirt, over here. The skirt of a nameless troubadour. Highly durable despite its appearance. While troubadours can get by on their own, through wily use of their arts for the most part, they might still require a generous patron. The stunning arrangement of layered flowers on the skirt is designed to capture the attention of a candidate for the position. And let's put on our skirt. And we did put in the effort. Get that fight taken care of. Let's get naked so you can see it. Flower skirt. That was enough. Let's get the arrows unequipped. Apparently they're still there. Help. Help. I have nothing. There we go. Had to unequip the bow. So it's a skirt. Gives you very intriguing looking shoes. So if you can recall this place, this drop here. And hear it. Taunting you. Taunting me. But we got a skirt. So remember this area? The elevator area? And this leads out to. Can get down from here. And, well, that's most of what we got for this DLC. Well, thank you so much for watching. My hat is off to you.